If you're facing foreclosure, it probably feels like you're carrying a huge weight. You might lose your home, and the process seems overwhelming. You're not in this alone. Help is available, official, reliable, and free help. But 90% of people facing foreclosure don't seek this help. Everyone has their own reasons, and everyone's situation is different. If you've tried working with a lender on your own, it was likely frustrating and you got nowhere. The paperwork can be confusing and overwhelming. And unfortunately, scams are very common. This is why it's so important that you seek free housing counseling from the Washington Homeownership Resource Center. You can call anytime in the process to get help. A housing counselor from an approved organization can help you understand what options you have at various points in the foreclosure process. But to make sure you understand why the sooner you act, the better your situation will be, let's have some plain talk about the foreclosure process. So you've missed your mortgage payment, possibly a few, and your lender has sent you a certified letter, the Notice of Pre-Foreclosure Options. This is where the process begins, and it's a great time to call a housing counselor. At this point, you can send a certified letter to your lender seeking a meet and confer meeting. In some cases, this can lead to a loan modification or repayment plan and possibly stop your foreclosure. It also buys you a little time to work on a solution. This is definitely worth your postage and time, and your housing counselor can assist you at the meeting. Perhaps you didn't fully read or understand this letter, or forgot to ask for a meeting, or it didn't go so well. The next notice you'll receive after a minimum of 30 days is the Notice of Default. At this point, the housing counselor you've already started working with can request mediation services through a third party. An attorney can also request mediation on your behalf, but you cannot request it yourself. The housing counselor or attorney can also act as your representative in these talks with your lender. For low to moderate income households, you may even qualify to receive free legal help. Requesting mediation at this first opportunity also stops the foreclosure process until mediation is complete, so that you have time to come to a resolution with your lender. If you haven't entered into mediation within 30 days, you may receive a Notice of Trustees sale. This notice is publicly recorded, which means it's the first time that anyone but you and the lender know about your foreclosure. This is why it's important that you take action as soon as possible, and it may be your last chance for help. The Notice of Trustees sale starts a countdown to your last chance to request mediation with your lender. You can only request mediation until 90 days before the foreclosure auction date in this notice. After this notice has been issued, you have very few options left to keep your home. Once the trustee sale is scheduled, if you don't come to a resolution with your lender to avoid the foreclosure, your home will be sold after 120 days, and you will have to move. You are, however, allowed by law to stay in your home for 19 days after the sale. Your goal should be to avoid this last step by seeking help as soon as possible. In the state of Washington, you have rights through the Foreclosure Fairness Act and many other laws, but your ability to avoid foreclosure depends on how soon you seek help. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the Washington Homeownership Resource Center now at 1-877-894-4663 to find a free housing counselor in your area, or visit homeownership-wa.org or 1-800-606-4819 to see if you are eligible for free legal help. The sooner you call, the better, but you can call anytime in the process to get help. This video was brought to you by Washington Homeownership Resource Center, Northwest Justice Project, Washington State Department of Commerce, Washington State Department of Financial Institutions, and the Financial Empowerment Network.